You're listening to Brink Radio. What's happening, everybody? Of course, it's Brink Young coming straight out of them South Memphis slums, and you are listening to Brink Radio right here on 96.3 FM. We talking about bumping 96.3 because we definitely bumping. Hey, we got a brand new guest on the show tonight. Of course, you've seen him on the Brink TV talk show on Comcast, and of course, you've seen him on the Brink TV countdown if y'all be messing with that, if you be tapping in. But hey, this is his first time on the radio with Brink. We're talking about my guest, Joey Hopper. How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing amazing. First and foremost, I got to say thank you for being a guest on Brink Radio, man. It's a long time coming, but we here.
Well, thank you so much for having me again.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, we got plenty to talk about, man, because I've pretty much been interviewing you just about every year, since we first met, and I've watched you grow as a young man into an adult. But it's so many things to catch up on, since the last time you were on the show last spring. Now, you actually started a music career. You're a rapper now.
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute now. You mean to tell me Lil Joey Hopper is a rapper, really?
Yep.
Okay, so what inspired you to get into music, man?
So the whole premise, I've grown up listening to all types of music. My parents tried to get me into doing, listening to Elvis Presley.
Okay.
I've done a little bit of listening to Michael Jackson and stuff like that. But what really got me into listening to music really was rap.
Okay.
And people like all types of rap music, like from old school like 8-Ball and MJG, to the newer ones like Duke Deuce, NLE Choppa, White Sosa, you name it. I listened to all of them, and rest in peace to Young Dolph. You definitely were a rap legend to everyone, and I'm a huge fan of yours. But what that kind of got me started. But I really felt like, there was time when I was a teenager and music was like, I was just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
But then I thought, maybe this could be something as in a career path, one of mine, to be able to continue to, craft and grow as I grow older and make more and sound better and get better as I do it.
Hey, I love it, man. Like I say, it's all about applying yourself, and Joey Hopper is definitely applying himself. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the single that you got out right now. As I did mention to the people, the video actually placed in the top 10 on the Brink TV countdown on Comcast Channel 31 in Memphis and Atlanta. The song is called When the Tears Begin, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about that title. Like, what does the song mean? What's the emphasis of When the Tears Begin?
So, When the Tears Begin, it's an anti-gun violence song, and I created it because of all the gun violence that's been going on the news recently, and especially all the what happened to all those kids. It was very hurtful to be able to to see our world. It almost makes me cry because of how scary and how how dangerous this stuff can get. And it's just not right, people. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a gun,
right?
But I'm just saying that you need to learn how to use it properly and know that what's right from wrong, and this amount of stuff that's been going on shouldn't be happening.
I agree.
And I have no words except why. Why is our world and our and our nation like this? Why can't we just be good citizens to everyone?
And that's an age-old question. Throughout the generations, throughout the years, it's always been violence. It's always been senseless violence.
Right.
And it seems like it's more prevalent in a city like Memphis. Memphis being so impoverished. There's not as many opportunities as more major cities. Mm-hmm. But we're seeing such an influx in gun violence and crime here. I'm glad that you actually, doing your part, because that's one thing that we've talked about in a previous interview. If everybody does their part, they can at least change the world around them. You might not be able to change the whole world, but you can change the world around them. The people within your arm's reach. Right. So the video is available right now on YouTube, correct?
Yes.
All right, so they would just type in J Hopper or Joey Hopper. What do they type in?
Joey Hopper, JoeyHopper, WHENTHETEARSBEGIN.
Hey, if you didn't get that, something is definitely wrong. But hey, man, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We got to pay some of these bills, and we're going to be back with my guy, Joey Hopper, right here on Brink Radio. Keep it locked on Brink Radio. Joey Hopper in the building, live in the flesh. Now we're talking about his single When the Tears Begin. It's available on all platforms right now. Now, Joey, if I'm not mistaken, did I see you signed a record deal recently, man? What's up? Talk about it.
I signed to Ashland Records, which is a local label. Not big yet, but I hopefully I want it to be big someday. It's owned by my good friend and great producer, award-winning producer. His name is Wayne Snyder. He is a local award-winning producer in Memphis, and he lives near Overton Square. And his studio is actually behind his house. And what's really interesting, his story is very interesting. How he built the studio out of a garage in the back of his house by handmade.
Wow.
And, yep. And he built everything from scratch. From the doors to the walls, he built everything from hand.
Yeah.
And he's got things that are unreleased that he's working on right now for like Jerry Lee Lewis. Me. He's worked with a lot of people, and seeing how this man has grown up and has accomplished his stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
And sometimes just going to his studio and just chit-chatting with him some days is amazing, is super amazing, because he's got a lot of stories to tell. And I'm also his intern at his studio, so he's teaching me everything from like mixing to producing to recording. So I'm not just the artist, I'm learning a bit of everything. So, I hope to one day have those skills as well, be able to, if someone comes on and goes, hey, I want to learn record a song. Can you help me? And be like, yeah, sure, I can record you.
Yeah. We talking about Joey Engineer Hopper in the building. Like I say, he's all over the board with his talents and abilities. Now, another thing you told me, man, when I ran into you recently, you said that you actually aspire to sign with PRE. We talk about Paper Route Entertainment.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, for all y'all that don't know, you've been living under a rock. Of course, that's the label that Young Dolph founded and created. Hey, man, so Let's find out. Let's dive into what could Joey Hopper bring to Paper Route Entertainment, man. I gotta hear from you. I gotta know that, because hey, tell me.
Well, I feel like I could bring a lot more than just my song. I feel like I could bring a message to the world that shows that this has gone too far in terms of the like I was speaking on the question earlier about the gun violence stuff. I feel like this has gone too far, and I feel like, people shouldn't have to live in fear over this stuff. And, it's super hurtful, to have to, wonder, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get too much into it without, and I'm not going to say any names, but, recently I was wearing one of the PRE t-shirts just because, I love the brand, and I love the shirt. It was a cool shirt. My favorite color is blue, so why not? And, I was at Costco, and this guy, I'm not going to say any names, but, this guy at Costco, he sees my t-shirt, and he gets, starts talking to me about, CMG and Paper Out, and telling me about the beefs and everything. And, I'm just not thinking too much about it. And one of the things I remember my mom talking to me about after that event at Costco was, she was like, I asked my mom, I was like, hey mom, what's he talking about? What is he telling me to watch my back for?
Yeah.
And she said, well, exactly what he's saying. He's saying that he's not going to harm you. He's not going to do nothing to you, but you need to be very careful where you wear the t-shirt.
Definitely, man. I mean, like, Joey, the best way I can put it, man, is they giving you good advice. I put it that way. It's not like somebody just go see you and just, beat you up or nothing like that.
He's just trying to warn me.
But at the end of the day, you're supposed to do that anyway. You live in Memphis. We in Memphis, so you're supposed to always watch your back. You're supposed to always be mindful of your surroundings and all that type of stuff. So it's not like they telling you no fairy tales or nothing like that. But you're supposed to already do that.
Right.
That's second nature for Memphis, so it's nothing like that. But let's go ahead and dive more into, because you were actually on Young Rock. We're talking about as an extra, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what was it like being? What was it? You said stand-in.
Both.
Okay, wait a minute now. Joey, he making all the money. He doing all the jobs. He's a stand-in and an extra. What was it like being on set of Young Rock?
It was an amazing experience. Being able to be around all the actors and, crew members and extras, and, we're all like, I say this many times, and I'm sure I've said it on the last show, but they're like a family.
Yeah.
You know, all the episodes I got to be on was amazing. The actors were amazing. Shout out to all the actors I worked with. Shout out to all the extras I worked with. Y'all are amazing. Shout out to the crew, the director, everybody. I hope, please bring back season 4. I want to do season 4. Come on.
Hey, let NBC know that right now. Joey Hopper is trying to be on season 4 of Young Rock. Brink Radio.
What it do? You already know who it is. Zilla, South Memphis landlord, and you're listening to Brink Radio 96.3.
Let's talk about Women of the Movement, because you were actually on that as well. Now, of course, we did talk about that on your last interview, but that was before it actually aired on television.
Right.
Actually came on ABC that fall. Let's talk about how it felt seeing yourself on national television, as well as the reception you got from family, friends, and, you know, supporters.
I mean, it was like another family as well. It was I mean, in a way, it was sad because you know, no kid should have to go through what he went through.
Absolutely.
And the family shouldn't have had to gone what they went through either. But, you know, also it made me, you know, feel like I went back in time and got to really experience, you know, the whole situation and get to see what really happened. You know, getting to go to those real places, getting to, you know, hear the storyline, get to, you know, go inside the real courtroom where it really took place.
Yeah.
You know, it was hard to, you know, it was hard to like really think about it, but in a way it was a lot of fun because I enjoyed the experience. But at the same time, it, you know, like I said, no mother should have to go through life losing her own son.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that, man. But, you know, like I say, it's a part of history, and I hope it remains a part of history. I know how, you know, school systems kind of get selective with certain history, you know, and they kind of omit things from history books and stuff like that. But hey, I hope it remains a part of history. I think every child growing up should know about that and know about the ugly, you know, nature of, you know, some people.
Right.
Then and now, you know, it still goes on. But let's go ahead and change the flow of traffic just a tad bit, man. A couple names, a couple artists that you did mention. You actually ran into them, man. What was it like running into certain artists and you're humongous fans of them? I believe it was, you said NLE Chopper and who else?
Duke Deuce, White Sosa. There's a lot of names I can't keep up with, but first time meeting NLE, shout out to NLE. If you want to work with me, hit me up on Instagram at Joey Hopper Official. Let's do it. He was doing somewhere downtown. He was doing like a vegan fest.
Okay.
And he was bringing out his vegan food truck, and his security guards were there. His mom, his dad, his brother was there. I would say this: if you've never tried his food, try his food. It's 10 out of 10 in my opinion. It's delicious. But he brought it. He was there. He you know, he was so humble. You know, when I asked to take a picture, and when he saw the cameras was rolling, once I told him, you know, I was doing it for my channel, he was like, "That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, that's fine."
Yeah.
But he's so humble. You know, a lot of times you think these rappers are gonna be, you know, all like, "Nah, no pictures, no pictures." But he was all like, "Sure, come on."
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I hope to be someday. I hope to be somebody like that who's like, if someone wants a fan sees me, no matter if they're 12 years old or 20 years old, if they want to come up and be like, "Hey, I love your song. I know you from somewhere. Can I get a picture with you?" I'm always gonna be like, "Yeah, sure, come on."
That's
You know?
incredible, man. I gotta ask you, like, with you guys kind of being in the same age range, you know, is it ever weird for you to just meet these people and y'all like in the same generation pretty much, but they're like super mega stars and you're aspiring to be there? Is it ever weird for you or strange for you? Because I mean,
Right.
if I can kind of preface that question, like for me, you know, certain athletes, when I meet certain athletes who are my age and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, like we born the same year, but you're like a super mega celebrity. Is it ever weird for you?
In some ways it is, but in other ways I've gone to the point where, you know, I'm just living it. You know, I love all types of experiences and getting to be around people that I've looked up to, that I've listened to, and, you know, is amazing. There's not a day that doesn't go by that I'm not listening to like R&B from Young Dolph, or with feature Megan Thee Stallion, or there's not a day that doesn't go by where I'm listening to Shadow Flow 2, or Crunk Ain't Dead.
Yeah, man. I promise. Shout out to my guy Duke Deuce.
Shout out to you for sure.
Hey, man. So, hey, look, we finna pay a few more bills, and then we're gonna be back with my guy Joey Hopper. You've actually branched out into doing interviews as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's talk about Joey's interviews, man.
So I don't remember exactly what time I started, but I've been doing it for a while. I do it at this really cool place in Midtown called the Memphis Listening Lab.
Okay.
It's a 901 nonprofit organization at Crosstown on the second level. If you haven't been there, go check it out. It's awesome. You can, book your own studio session if you want to record music. They got a podcast area if you want to do that, and they also sometimes host events for artists and stuff.
Man, you almost sound like a GPS the way you was giving those directions. Yeah, it's on the second level of Crosstown. I'm gonna call you GPS Joey, man.
But it's an amazing experience getting to go and interview all types of artists. It's amazing. I've interviewed, big names to, from, to even local artists. It's amazing. Whoever wants to come on, and has a story or has a brand or a song they want to, talk about, I'm available.
I saw a sexy young lady on your show. I believe her name is Star J. Woo, man, 6'6" I believe she's from Mississippi. But man, I was checking out that interview. I was like, how did Joey keep his composure? Because that young lady's gorgeous. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no doubt. So go ahead, man. Let all the people know your social media. I know you kind of mentioned some of it, but let them know where they can find you and where they can check out all of your content.
Sure. My Instagram is Joey Hopper Official. My YouTube is Joey Show Vlogs, all one word. Or I have another channel, which is my music channel, and that's Real Joey Hopper Music. And I have a Facebook, which is Joey Hopper, as well as Real Joey Hopper Music. Is another Facebook page. And then I have a Twitter page, which is Joey Hopper. And then you can look me up on Google. If you type in When the Tears Begin, Joey Hopper, my name will pop up on Google. So yeah.
That's incredible, man. Like I say, you guys make sure y'all tap in with my guy Joey Hopper. He's doing a lot of amazing things in Memphis and beyond, man. Any shout outs, anything before we go?
Shout out to the Paper Route Empire people. Shout out to you. Shout out to my family, my mama. I love you so much. You're an inspiration to me, for real. I don't know what I would do without you and Dad. Shout out to all my family. Shout out to all my friends. Shout out to you, Graham. You've been the nicest and the greatest best friend I could ever ask for. Shout out to everybody that's around me. Shout out to my church family. Shout out to everybody I work with.
I gotta say thank you for being a guest on Brink Radio, man. Like I said, this is Brink Young coming straight out of them South Memphis slums on Brink Radio 96.3 FM bumping.
You're listening to Brink Radio.